Hello, welcome again. I'm Gregory, and this is my cool book toque that I got from outofprint.com, which does a lot of great book merch. And today it's when we post the video, I recorded ahead of time, but the day I'm posting this video, it is December 31st. So with the end of the year, I thought I'd do a quick video on my five favorite books of the year. Now, this was a year I did not read as much as I would like to have read. I think I only read like 20 some odd novels this year and a lot of comic books. So, but I think that these would have been the five in most years. They're just that good. It was a really good quality year for me. There were some duds that I read, but really a lot of great pieces as well. And I'm not going to do them like in an order of my favorite to least favorite because that's not how I try to do things. I don't like to do reviews as the idea of like give it a star or a 10 out of 10 rating. I just like things or I don't. So these were what I would say were my five favorite books of the year. Although, you know what? 6 months from now, 3 years from now, I might look at the books I read in 2022 and might have another different five that I liked better. And that's the wonderful thing about time and the fact that we're able to change things. But before I get into that, as always, if you can subscribe to the page, like the video, comment, share, all that good stuff, that would be wonderful. So, the first book, I think actually the first book I read this year completely was Christopher Moore's Noir. I'm a huge Christopher Moore fan. I've read most of his stuff. There's a couple I have not read yet. Uh, Unfortunately, um, I will have read them all before I pass away, hopefully. That is the goal. And I'm also a big fan of like the noir genre. I love a good noir book. And as you can imagine, Christopher Moore's take is a little different, very sci-fi heavy in this, but excellent, excellent. It's like an excellent genre book in both the sci-fi sense and the noir sense. Love a good genre bend, and Christopher Moore does it as well as anyone. Just really smart characters, really great dialogue, and just funny as all hell. Highly recommend it if you're a Christopher Moore fan. You haven't checked this out, you definitely should. Uh, the next book I read that I really loved this year was Tyler Hayes's Imaginary Corpse. This was the first uh, book I did a video on for YouTube. It was the book that inspired me to start talking about books in video form. Just a really, really great novel from Tyler Hayes. This was his first one. He's got a lot of short stories out there. I can't recommend this enough. If you're a fan of the fantasy genre, also this is another one that's really inspired by a detective. So another like if you don't mind, if you like only hard boiled stuff with no nonsense, this probably isn't for you. But if you like fun, clever, genre bending detective stuff, The Imaginary Corpse is for you. Next book, which really blew me away, is Betty by Tiffany McDaniel. And this is her second novel. This was one we read for book club. Delaney had picked it, and she knocked out of the park with this pick. This might be like the universally most beloved book we read in book club. Just really, really top notch. If you have not read Tiffany McDaniel, I can't recommend it enough. Trigger warnings, a lot of death, uh, and a lot of sexual abuse. Um, but really, really great read. Tiffany McDaniel is indigenous, and that's a big part of the book is uh, the fact that she's got an indigenous father and a white mother. Something that's really true to life for Tiffany McDaniel. Like the book is loosely based on her own mother. Really powerful, well written read. Just yeah. Uh, the next book I read this year that I absolutely loved, another Indigenous author, Stephen Graham Jones. Uh, Much like with Betty and the book I'll have talking about after My Heart is a Chainsaw, I will have videos on these. I just haven't gotten to recording them yet because I'm trying to do them in the order I read them in. So I've got a couple more videos so you see those. But Stephen Graham Jones just really fantastic. I'm not a fan of the slasher movie genre. I'll watch them, I'll enjoy them for what they are. But My Heart is a Chainsaw, just a great love letter to the slasher genre, something Stephen Graham Jones loves. And I've talked about Only Good Indians by him before, and I'll say it again. Just a great Twitter follow as well. Stephen Graham Jones. So definitely check that out if you're a fan of horror novels. Stephen Graham Jones, you can't go wrong with him. And the last book that I really loved, we're going back to Tiffany McDaniel. This is her first novel, The Sound That Melted Everything. And I don't know if I liked it more than Betty, a little bit less, but really, once again, just top notch. This was another one we read for book club. My darling Stephanie picked it. Really, really kind of a cheap way out to pick a book by an author that we universally loved just 2 books after we'd read that author, especially when she mocked my book selection. Uh, Love you, Stephanie, but still, we're going to call foul on that. But yeah, we've changed that book club from now on. Tiffany McDaniel is now an author, and the only author we have that as soon as the novel comes out, that'll be the next book club. Which problem for me is since I don't read hardcover, but I'll be excited to read McDaniel. So those were my 5 favorite books of 2022 as it stands now. If you've read any of these books, please comment what you thought of them. If you're going to read them, let me know that you're now anticipating reading them. I'd love to hear that too. You can obviously comment in this video or my social medias as well. The out as a link to the outer print are in the video description. So if you want to follow me on any of the social medias or you want to buy some sweet book merch like my toque here, outer print does a really great job with the merch they have, and then they do a lot of donations based on the books as based on your clothing purchase as well. Can't recommend them enough for book apparel. So until next time, friends.